Point 4. The moral responsibility we have towards the passenger. You might think, well, the passenger assumes the risks. They signed a liability waiver. And perhaps, if I do ASRO, I'll also make them sign something that says they understand and accept the risks. Yes, but not entirely. In reality, no passenger fully understands the risk they're taking on, even for a standard flight without acrobatics. There's a risk, though it may be minimal, that the passenger simply ignores. They assume, unconsciously, that it's like a roller coaster where everything will be fine, and accidents are almost non-existent. This means there's a complete lack of awareness about the natural and real risks of paragliding, and even less if we propose Acro, where the risks are much higher compared to a regular flight. There is no waiver that fully exempts us from the moral responsibility we hold towards our passenger. The best way to avoid this responsibility is simply not to do acrobatics or maneuvers. Reason 5. When we do acro with a passenger, we're usually working in an area where other tandem pilots are also flying with passengers. Once one pilot begins doing acro, other passengers start asking for it as well. They feel that if they're not doing spirals or wingovers, their flight is somehow inferior. This indirectly pressures our fellow pilots or competitors to perform maneuvers too. This can create a vicious cycle. In reality, there are experienced and less experienced pilots, and some equipment is newer than others. Standardizing acro and tandem flying raises the likelihood of accidents, and that's not beneficial for anyone. Whether it's the solo pilot, commercial pilot, instructor, or tandem pilot. Reason 6. Passengers don't actually place significant value on acrobatics. They may enjoy it, scream with excitement, but if you compare the satisfaction of a passenger who had acro versus one who didn't, it's practically the same. The flight experience alone is amazing for them, and if we don't do acro, the risk is much lower. In business, if a differentiating factor isn't valued by the customer, it's not worth doing. Acrobatics isn't typically valued by tandem clients. It's rare that a passenger will request acro unless you offer it, or they've chosen paragliding solely for acrobatics. Passengers simply want a safe, beautiful flight, minimizing risk.